My main reason for seeing Pixar's The Incredibles is that it features Sarah Vowell, my favorite journalist and a lady I kind of have a crush on, as Violet Parr.
So, in the whole time that I've been Violet, I've been writing a book. It's called Assassination Vacation, and it's about the assassinations of Presidents Lincoln, Garfield, and McKinley, and tourism. So, I go to historic sites having to do with those assassinations and then come here and, write about them. I mean, I hope what I do is make American history interesting, but I really do have to pitch it to people. I really have to say, James A. Garfield really is interesting, whereas The Incredibles has been incredible for me because unlike anything I've ever worked on, my friends and family find it fascinating, right off the bat, like, ooh, a family of superheroes, exciting. It's just been so nice to be part of something that I don't have to convince people to be interested in. It's just so much more relaxing, really. Here I am in the morning, I'm writing about the Republican Convention of 1880, and in the afternoon I'd get to say things like, the robot lost its claw. That is just something you never get to say when you're talking about the Garfield administration.
Isn't she cute? To be fair, I did have other reasons for watching this film. After Toy Story 2, which I saw about a decade ago, The Incredibles is only the third Pixar film I've seen. Pixar routinely tackles sensitive issues that studios like Disney never touch, but most of Pixar's films passed under my radar. Since Pixar is revered by so many moviegoers, it's time to review The Incredibles. There's very little I can say about The Incredibles that hasn't already been covered. In short, this film takes familiar cliches and character archetypes from the superhero genre and reworks them in the context of a down-to-earth family drama. The cartoonish action is secondary to the personal conflicts, as the Parrs are a dysfunctional but loving family that just happens to have superpowers. Superheroes were forced into hiding by the government, and the whole family is feeling the consequences. Helen, formerly the super stretchy Elastigirl, is now a stay-at-home mom. Her son Dash is frustrated by the fact that he can't compete in sports due to his super fast running speed, and older sister Violet is a shy goth who, appropriately enough, can turn invisible. Every Parr is unhappy in some way, but Helen, Violet, and Dash have all adapted better than family patriarch Bob. Bob, once the unnaturally strong Mr. Incredible, is a selfless hero caught in a soul-crushing job, and yearns for the glory days when he could fight crime and help people out in the open. Bob and his buddy Frozone are forced to be superheroes at night, behind Helen's back, and Bob even accepts a contract from a woman who turns out to be working for his nemesis Syndrome. Despite the fact that the Parr family is basically the cast of the Fantastic Four, minus the Human Torch, The Incredibles is a surprisingly mature depiction of family life. These are all likable, interesting people with relatable flaws and goals. Violet wants more confidence so that she can talk to a boy she fancies, and Helen just wants to keep her struggling family together. Bob is so obsessed with being a superhero that he lies to his wife and becomes a neglectful father. Violet wants self-confidence, Helen wants stability, and Bob wants acceptance as a superhero. These three people want more out of life, but Dash, conversely, wants less. Dash just wants to be a normal kid and engage in normal activities. The film ultimately pans out with the Parrs discovering their inner strengths and coming together as a family to save the day. The art design was a little too stylized for my liking. The proportions for the characters are very unrealistic. The muscular Mr. Incredible is absurdly top-heavy. The characters' heads are generally too big for their bodies, and Helen and Violet's limbs are way too long and thin. Among the main characters, Syndrome and Frozone have the best proportions. The colors and set pieces are also a little too straight and even, making the film look more cartoonish and unreal than I think it should have been. On the other hand, I was very impressed by how expressive the faces were in this animated film. The level of sincere emotion in this film is just astonishing. The action is fast paced, fun, and full of explosions, but nothing special. It was brave of Pixar, however, to have people die violently in a family film, and there was an amusing stealth sequence with the stretchy Elastigirl. Every Pixar movie feels like a labor of love, and The Incredibles, to its credit, has endearing, interesting characters, decent action, and a realistic depiction of the ups and downs of family life and the problems of real people. I had a fun time watching this film, even if the overly stylized visuals did get on my nerves a little. It's also great to see Sarah Vowell, one of my favorite writers, in a major acting role. The Incredibles earns 3.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching. Cheers!